Today marks exactly 6 weeks till the commencement of my GDMBR northbound ride. It's daunting, intimidating. There are aspects of it that cause me some heart flutters. Keeping in mind that thoughtful planning is the key to being prepared for whatever is confronting one. I've been working over the last 2 years to prepare for my solo GDMBR northbound trip. 2 weeks ago, I took a final shakedown to Volcano National Park, where I stayed at Namakani Payo. I'm going to share with you the 5 critical lessons learned from that shakedown trip that allows me to feel much better prepared, and perhaps you will too, as you consider the benefits from some of these items. Number 1. Critical lesson learned. I spent a week and I learned to take extra stakes. I took exactly the right number of stakes, thinking, all right, I got this one nailed. I'm not going to take any more weight than I need to. And it turned out I needed to take extra stakes. Given the wind and the rain, and I was running a tarp with a bivvy, I needed at least 3 more stakes than I took. So what I'm doing now, my plan is to take 2 additional good solid stakes with me, knowing that and some line, rope, knowing that I may still have to tie off to a tree. I may, in severe conditions, still have to use rocks. That's okay, but at least I'm better prepared now to hold my shelter down. Item number 2. I really didn't think I would need a cap. It was in the mid to upper 40s, but I found that without a cap, it was even colder. I had to use the hood to my jackets, which was fine, but a cap is a little nicer. So I'm taking my cap. Item number 3 on my critical lessons learned from my GDMBR shakedown trip was take enough fuel. In fact, take a little extra fuel if you're running a stove, or at least have some form of a backup plan. I ran out of fuel because I'm one of the things I'm still learning. How much fuel do I actually need? How much fuel do I burn per day? And given the type of cooking and preparation that I do, that I enjoy doing, I found I needed more fuel than I thought I did. So I went to the local Ace Hardware store, and they were just out. So what I learned is not only take enough fuel and a little extra, but take adapters, because it's not just one kind of fuel that an isobutane stove can burn. There are 3 different fuels, and if you have adapters, you can run all 3. No matter what fuel is available, you can still cook and stay warm in the case where your preferred fuel is unavailable. Keeping warm, if you had to drink a cup of hot water to warm up, you'd do it. Melt some snow, drink some hot water, but you got to have fuel. So fuel is sort of a critical deal. Take enough. Item number 4, an ultralight backpack. I was not going to take one. I figured, I'll just use a plastic bag. I'll just use my stuff sacks. I'll make do. That didn't work. And the reason it didn't work is all my stuff sacks were all full of things I was trying to keep dry because it was raining nonstop. All day, all night. I had fortuitously purchased a lightweight backpack, which was extremely handy. In fact, it would have been tricky if I hadn't had it when I went grocery shopping. I'll never go without a backpack again. Carry a backpack. Critical lesson learned number 5. You got to stay dry. You have to stay dry. You have to have a plan for how you're going to keep at least one set of undergarments, base layer, dry. I understand things can go completely upside down, but that aside, you've got to have something dry. And you have to have, what I learned is, I needed a dry place to change. It would be awfully nice to have a little privacy. Okay, you're in the middle of the forest perhaps, but perhaps you're not. There are loads of places one stays on the GDMBR that is not terribly private. unless you have a tent. So I've dispensed with my tarp shelter and I've gone to a full tent because I found I need to have someplace dry, to keep things dry, to keep some clothes dry, and for a little privacy. When I wake up in the morning and I'm trying to change out of my pajamas, my dry clothes, well, fortunately everybody else was asleep. But now I have a tent. Have a place to be dry and private. And my bonus critical lesson learned on my GDMBR final shakedown bikepacking trip is don't worry so much. I'm still worrying. I'm trying real hard not to. But I found that I didn't need to take a week's worth of food. I didn't need to take 2 days of water at 1.5 gallons per day. There are ways to manage. Things will work out. I had problems with my stakes. I had to get up 3 times the first night to reset the stakes on my tarp. But I figured it out. I didn't have enough stakes, but I figured it out. And found a wonderful providential gift of another stake that somebody else had left. So I ended up with a stake. I tied off to 3 or 4 different trees. I used rocks. It'll work out. You'll figure it out. Don't worry so much. It'll be okay. Have fun. And I hope you've learned from some of my lessons learned. I look forward to seeing you on the GDMBR this summer. Not worrying, no fretting, just enjoying the ride. And don't forget to stop and smell the flowers. I'm Kevin, and I hope you found the information I've presented today to be of interest. Please like, subscribe, and I'd like to encourage you to check out and support me on Patreon at my Aslan's Hope, where I release full recordings, particularly those compositions which you have heard during these videos. Till next time, let's go.